Okay, why can I not see myself? Has the cat stood in the camera again? No. Okay, I don't know what's happened. I can't see anything. Patrick, go online, see if you can see me. Please. Okay, I cannot see anything. I've got nothing feeding back here. If you can see and hear me, you can hear but no video. Okay. Where's my video? What's this? No, I don't want to meet now. Join a meeting. No, that's not what I want. What do you mean I don't have access to this feature? Hang on. My camera seems to be... I don't have access. Bear with me a second. Settings. Camera access for this device is on. Some desktop access. Camera on. Everything's on. Oh, for goodness sake. Allow apps to access my camera. It's there. What's happened? Take the lens cap off. I do have a lens cap thing. Let me see if that worked. Ha! Thank you so much. Who said that? Amafid, take the lens cap off. Thank you. I did not realise I had done that. The cat was wandering all over my keyboard. Good evening. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe that happened. Goodness gracious me. How are we all? It's Sunday night. Oh my goodness. Let's see who we've got here. I haven't even said hellos or anything. So we have Frugal Stew, we have Jill Prepper from For the Ages, Amafid, Nova, Alabama Whitman, Chaz Brown, Who I Am Into Biz from Tennessee, Cat Potter, Julie, Crazy Solo, Chaz, Different Julie, Nova, Ben's there, Slave to No Man, Carol, Not Having a Great Week, so Here to Feel Happier. Oh, I know that feeling. Avril, Mary. My goodness, thank you so much for coming along, guys. Now, Carol, I get you with it not having a great week, Here to Feel Happier. That is exactly what's happened to me. Would you believe I had the most awful week? Yeah, that sort of puts me more in the middle, doesn't it? And it took me ages to get out the funk. However, we did, and we did silly things. We did the hot baths, we did the reading a book. I'm not even going to tell you the sort of books I was reading. But it did get me there, and it's little things. It started earlier in the week, and I have to say one of the best things I did was when we went up to meet Grant at the food train. I'm presuming you've seen that video. Hi, Chris. And being able to give the food train that money from the channel, that was a real feel-good thing. So that certainly helped lift my spirits. So there's always these little things. That was Patrick wandering through the door there. It's going to be horrified that you can see him on camera. Hiya, Joe, Kate. So yeah, but it is. We were actually talking about that at work. That there's times when the world can just seem overwhelming, and you need to find little bits. Hiya, Sarah. And those little bits, as I say, for me, a lot of them it's doing things like having a hot bath. Chocolate biscuits are a big thing. Has to be done. It helps when I go to bed that the cat comes and snuggles into me. So little things, it's one of those, anything that you can find. Hi, Caroline. Crazy Solo having a hot chocolate down in the dumps, got turned down for a house. I'm sorry to hear that, Crazy, but just when you're talking about that, somebody I know is looking to try and rent a property. In fact, twice this has happened in the last month. And I obviously have not tried to rent a property for many years. But the stuff that they have to go through, and I'm presuming you know this, Solo, because if you've done that, whereas in my day it was you went, you spoke to the landlord, and they told you yes or no there. Now there's application forms, you need to do references. I didn't know you had to do that. And it's now getting that you're lucky if you're chosen to rent the property. Whereas in my day it was, the landlords were desperate to get someone to stay there. So it seems to have turned completely on its head. Hi, Jace. Oh, Ben, you were at a prepper bushcraft meet this weekend in Hartford. Ooh. Does that mean that you can actually light fires with 2 bits of wood now, Ben? Because I have not learned that skill yet. But I did get myself ages ago when I was buying stuff. I did the flint thing that you scrape, and I've been saving. When I was using the tumble dryer in the winter, I have my tumble dryer stuff. So and the flint. So I'm thinking I'm quite well organised with that. Carol, you bought strawberries, but you're not supposed to eat them because you're on a weight gain plan, so gave them to a homeless person. Well done, you. That was a nice thing to do. You definitely deserve a smug for that, Carol. Solo, waiting 3 years, went for a viewing, got a yes, then phones changed mind. Oh, I don't like that. Yeah, this definitely seems to be a thing with properties just now. It's so much more difficult. What was I thinking? I was actually thinking earlier this week, how on earth we're going to do this with the properties, because if you're having to apply to get a rental property and the mortgage rates are going up and the landlords, and I get that you get good landlords. I know some good landlords, but if their mortgages have gone up £400 a month, they need to get that money somewhere. Renting out a property used to be that you could charge more in rent than it was your mortgage. So it was a good little number for landlords. Now it's not so much. Now they're struggling to make ends meet. And the people who are renting out the property can't afford to be paying this extra £400 a month or whatever it is. I think it's going to become a huge problem soon. Let's see who else we got. Julie didn't venture far, catching up with things at home for a change. Oh, I know. I am so supposed to be catching up at things at home. Normally there's the standard thing, as you know, with the washing and the batch cooking. I have done none of that this weekend. Not a single bit. The best I have done is I saw, I didn't see, Patrick and I went shopping in Asda today. And basically it was for biscuits and cleaning stuff. We did a lot of that. There was a lot of biscuits bought. Because, in my defence, I buy biscuits to have in the office, and I buy biscuits for Patrick, and I buy biscuits for me. So it's just one of those things. It has to be done. So, yeah, that's it. So, Ben, did you learn to make fire with wood? Is that some of the bushcraft? The biscuit craft. Oh my goodness, my head. What can I say? Nova, I totally agree with you. Biscuits absolutely have to be done. Toby, good evening. It is good weather now. However, earlier today there was a lot of rain, and we had to take poor Patrick's motorbike to the garage, so he had to ride the motorbike in the rain. So that was not much fun. But now it's turned nice. We thought we'd do it in the afternoon, thinking it was going to get worse at night. It's actually really nice. Stephanie, oh, Highland Games in Kingsville in Canada. Excellent. Marianne, hello. Nice to see you. Jace Biscuits Essential. Yeah, exactly. We have the Highland Games. We had the local Highland Games a couple of weeks ago. I think we're the Blackford Highland Games is my closest. And it's always the last Saturday in May. And then Kathleen, my daughter, she's doing stuff with Radio Erin. They're doing the Crieff Highland Games. So, or Crieff Highland Gathering, I think it is. They're actually sponsoring an arena. So, yeah. Kat, you've not had any rain. I think down south that's probably a bad thing now. I think they're wanting rain now. Walking with Willow, good evening. Thank you so much for that. That's very kind of you to say. Caroline, you're feeling smug. Have a Ninja for about 1 year. Used slow cooker and pressure cooker. Today used air fryer and did some baking out for saving my money and did it in-house. Look at you. See, all those little things. Decluttering Queen, good evening. Just need your biscuit eating skills because fruit is too low calories for me. Oh, don't. Carol, I know what you mean. Oh, my goodness. Testing a few bits kid. Did one on the flint and steel, but on day 2 got lazy. I think day 2 you're allowed to get lazy, Ben, I have to say. Nova, Ireland's always rainy. Yeah, that's the same as Scotland. What can I say? Carol, was you saying about the biscuits? One of the reasons we had to go shopping today was bread. Normally, I have at least 2 loaves in the freezer, and there's another one on the counter and stuff like that. And this morning, I came down the stairs quite early, and I was like, I'll have some toast and some tea, and I'll do that. And I had no bread. No bread at all in the house. I am a prepper. What is that about? Totally, absolutely like, oh my goodness, sitting here with a cup of tea going, why do I not have bread? I've got no biscuits. I've got like no carbohydrates, or no sweet carbohydrates, should I say. And I was sitting and I was feeling so sad, and I'm messaging Patrick saying, we need to go shopping. We need to go shopping. And then I remembered I had crumpets. So off I jolly well trotted. And I had tea and crumpets for breakfast this morning. But that was quite a huge shock to the system that I had no biscuits, no bread, no sweet munchies at all. Because normally I've got loads. So today we had to go shopping, and as you know, we stocked up quite a lot on that stuff because it's just not normal. But then when I was trying to work it out, I had the no spend time, and then I was ill, so I ate all my supplies. So yeah, I've been through quite a lot of the stock. So we needed to definitely needed to do that. I'm just looking here. Got rain today. Caroline's having custard creams. Nice. I haven't had them in ages. Matches and lighter to go with a fire steel. Yeah. What if I can only find that? Yeah, you see, I'm big on like take many options. Should sleep with it being cooler. Yeah. I had the window open last night because it was too hot. So you actually made bread this morning and you did better than me. I was not that. That never actually entered my head. I think because I haven't made bread that often, it wasn't my go-to, oh my goodness. So, yeah, well done you for making the bread. Carol, oh, crumpets are brilliant because they're full of holes, and then you put butter on them when you've toasted them, and the butter all melts into the holes, and it's just lush. Completely lush. What we've got, yeah, see, Sarah, crumpet with loads of butter and either Marmite or honey. No, I'm just... Carol, would one crumpet equivalent 1 slice of bread or 2? No idea. The amount of butter I put on it, probably 3. Not going to lie. Probably going to be like 3. So we've been gardening, more digging and planting. Well done, you. Oh, Julie, well done. Glad to see you back, sweetheart. You just sit and listen, yeah. Okay, Marianne, now you've confused me. Custard cream's kept in the freezer. That's a new one. Alabama Whitman hatched 11 chicks last week, and another hatch coming out today. Oh, that's so cute. See, we were talking about that last live, weren't we? About whether I could have chickens or not, and I couldn't. But I love they're just so fluffy. Do you know, Fluffy's good. Digby, oh yes, you can definitely do freezing crumpets. Has to be done. Slave to no man, full fry up Sundays. You and Patrick would get on fine. Patrick absolutely likes his breakfast. I'm not as keen, but yeah, we do breakfast. We treat ourselves sometimes. Do the midges come in? I'm down in Oxford and midges are not a problem, just wondering. Dave, I don't have a problem with midges coming in because I'm in the town at night. However, yeah, if I was in a caravan up by the side of a loch, I would not be having the windows open at night because you would just be covered. No. Mandy, when we were at the loch last week, her leg she just got bitten to bits. It was awful. Luckily, I wasn't too bad, but Mandy really did. She must have had like 30, 40 bites on one leg. Gloucester Bungle, crumpets require ample butter. Totally agree. Crumpets require a whole heap of butter when they're toasted. And you have to have a plate. You can't have them in your hand, otherwise the butter leaks through and you end up in a big mess. Trying out growing bush type green beans in pots. Oh, I haven't tried that. Just say you're gifted a larger, would it affect how you live your life? 25 grand in savings. Now, there's a good question, Carol. Would it affect how I live my life? Probably not. Because if I was gifted a large amount of money, as long as I have the roof over my head, I don't think my life would change very much. We have, obviously, with the loss of my father, there was money that I could have spent, which I didn't. Patrick and I are both the same. We both drive old cars. We don't really buy flashy stuff, even if we get like a wee flutter on the horses, or if we win a wee bit in the lottery or something, or even like your Christmas bonus. I don't get that. I would rather do what I do just now, which is give a lot of it away, at least a third away to charities, small charities that I know what's happening with the money, not the big ones, because no. Yeah, and then pretty much as long as me and mine are all right, so I would help whoever needed to be helped. I probably wouldn't live much differently, because through the years, as my wages have increased, as my experience and knowledge has increased, I still just live the same. Do you know, I still wear, remembering that I work in a construction company, so I still wear trainers to the office. I still wear the same tracky bottoms or jeans. They're out of Debenhams and Marks and Spencers just because of my height. Don't try. Do you know, that's never changed in like 30 years. But yeah, nice thought. It would help a lot of people. And yeah, I might have to go and have another weekend in the caravan, or maybe actually take a full week off. That would make a difference. Let's see, butter and Marmite for crumpets. Yeah, I haven't done crumpets with Marmite. Haven't done Marmite, really. Never really a thing. Alan, you are fig roll from the fridge. Good point. Grant, hello. Oh, Grant, don't even start me on the Uleses. Just ridiculous. Kathy, yeah, you caught me live. How? Well done, you. Grown very well. Green beans is low maintenance. We like that. Avril, you did broccoli and alfalfa thingy bobs, sprouts. Well done. Cindy, good plan. Buying cars that are ex-rental. That is a good plan. Because you find they've normally just done motorway miles, so they're not too bad. Nadine, hello. Late doesn't matter. You're still here. It's great to see you. Yeah, good point, Cindy, on the car rental agencies. I remember when I was young, my dad used to, when we were looking at that time, obviously there was no Google or whatever, and we would have we'd go through the newspaper. And the one thing Dad was doing was if it was big mileage, he said, that's a taxi, which never occurred to me. But that was only cars because of where we were. He was like, no, that one's got too much mileage, so that means it's been a taxi or it's been a business car. So he always went for like low mileage, etc. But then he was a mechanic, so he knew what he was talking about. Digby, wouldn't thank you for it, as you can only spend so much, give to your nearest and dearest, and so the rest would need to go to charity. Which ones is a huge responsibility? Now, Digby, I've thought about that. I was actually having a think over the last couple of days about the problem with mortgages and housing and whatever. And I thought, you know, I would like to be able to build social housing just so that people have got somewhere to live, because the government's not going to do it, are they? But obviously, I have many pie in the sky ideas. Patrick, bless him, puts up with all of them and then tells me whether I'm being sensible or not. But yeah, it's like the government's not going to build the housing, the local authorities don't have the money, and the charities are trying to do so much, and the construction companies want to make so much profit. And you're like, you know, I would rather, if I had like a big lottery win, I'd rather do that so that people have got somewhere decent to live. I think that's something that's quite important just now. Grant, you've seen a lot of people putting 4 and 5-year-old cars for the scrap. Is that in Glasgow, Grant? Like Glasgow area, if they're going to have to do the ULEZ? Bent 21-year-old car still running. Yeah, see, we like the old cars because you can fix them yourself. You don't have to have one of those digital thingy bobs. Catherine, yeah, hello. Just home from the grocery store. Over 100 feels like. Oh, iced blueberry tea. Ooh, I like the sound of that. Iced blueberry tea is quite nice. Smoke Show, good evening from the Alberta prairies. Here right now, they want 5K for a 20-year-old with 300 kilometres on it. Used cars are crazy expensive. Yeah. Used cars used to be crazy expensive here as well, Smoke Show, but now if you're in the big cities, because of the ultra low emission zone, it's a huge thing. It costs you so much more money. Catherine added a little mint to her iced blueberry tea. Yep. Carol, thing that was making me feel rubbish is I kept doubting my decisions all week with a meal plan, but so long as the decision is appropriate and the best at the time, that's the best I could do. Oh, Carol, I am with you in that one. I doubted so much this weekend, and I had to talk myself out of it. And I came to the conclusion that as long as I'm doing the best I can and I'm not hurting anyone, that's fine. Because I had my mother telling me I was overweight since I was 17. I had people tell me that I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that. And it took me till I was 48 to actually find my own self. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. So, and every so often, yes, I have a guilt trip. I feel bad and I go crash and burn. And I did that this weekend and I'm now back fighting fit. I'm like, no, you know, I have brought up my daughter. I do a good job. I do all this. And Patrick's looking at me going, yep, you couldn't have told yourself that yesterday. No, could you? Yes, I know. And he tells me all the time, bless his little cotton socks. So, yeah, don't doubt yourself. If that works for you, you do what works for you, because that's the best we can do. Ben, ultra low money making scam. Totally. It is just a money making scam. It is just ridiculous. And obviously, as I say, because Patrick was in London for so long, we saw the difference in London. And all it did was cause more traffic jams and more problems, and ambulances not being able to get to houses unless they went round the long way, etc., etc. So yeah, ULEZ is just a load of rubbish. We really, really don't like ULEZ at all. It's just no. Susan, hello, Susan. No apologies required for being late at all. I'm just glad to see you could make it. Doll from County Mayo. Just set some more carrots and onions this evening. Yes. Out enjoying the good weather. Quite right. We actually, the weather today was so iffy. I thought it was hot, but Patrick was calling it close, which is muggy, like just waiting for the rain. And it took, I think, what, till the third set of rain before it actually cleared, because the air's quite clear just now. But oh, yeah. A smoke show, 30-year-old trying to find a hire vehicle. Yeah. Oh, don't. That's your Chelsea tractors, your Range Rovers and your Jeeps and things. Not easy to find. Hiya, Paula. Nice to see you. We have a lot of four-wheel drives around about here just because it's a farming community. And yeah, they are pricey. And there's some of them are just rotten. So it's trying to find something that's kind of decent. As I say, because I don't have dad anymore, poor Patrick, who's the electrician, not the mechanic, gets the question. Good point, Cindy. Looking at trucks. Could be. I'm presuming by trucks you mean like the pickups rather than like big lorry truck things. Okay, now Patrick, you've not to get cross here. Ben has just put up saying pretty much all the dual lanes are now going to single lanes in London. Now Regent Street is one lane when it was two lanes both ways. We know this, Ben. And they did it in Hammersmith, which is the one place I do know was King Street, yes?
Chiswick High Road.
Chiswick High Road and King Street in Hammersmith. Now, it was two lanes and they put it into one lane. Now, you can imagine this is a big, long high street with all the shops and stuff. It's like a shopping centre thing. So we're toddling down there and we used to go and we'd turn off and we'd go and park and blah, blah, blah. Now it's one lane with a cycle lane. However, the cycle lane has been curbed in. There's an actual curb with bollards. So if you're coming through, what you've got to remember is London has a huge public transport system. So if there's a bus going down King Street and you're stuck behind it and the fire engine's 5 behind you and that bus stops to let passengers off, how's your fire engine getting through? Because it can't get through the curbs and the bollards anymore. And that is a really huge problem that nobody seems to have thought of. Or is it just me that's thought of that?
They blocked Iceland's car park off for the lorries. They couldn't get lorries to swing in the airports.
And they blocked off Iceland's car park for the lorries. They couldn't get the lorries in.
Deliver to the front, which blocked the traffic.
So, yeah, see? Ben completely agrees with you and says, you're right, we can't move the lorries over. No, you can't. You can't move the lorries over. You can't move the nothing, you know. And if you've got a bus, I think some of those bus stops, it's like every 3 minutes you've got a bus stop in, isn't it? And if you've got 2 or 3 buses or bus stops in that street, you've got a bus stopping nearly every 30 seconds to every minute. So, yeah, someone's making a lot of money out of that, and it's not us, can I just mention. Donald, thank you for all the people you helped regarding your YouTube money. The world needs more caring cat. Oh, thank you. That's very nice of you. Thank you very much for that. And Cindy's, yes, pickup trucks, much. Oh, yeah. I remember a pickup truck many, many years ago when I was about 18, when I was a skinny malinky. And I used to wear for school. You can imagine it's honest to God, it's ridiculous. But I used to wear a pencil skirt and stilettos. And my friend Robin got a pickup. He got a ute. And we were going to go and jump in there. Never think you can jump in a ute or a pickup truck with a pencil skirt on. It's not dignified. Not dignified at all, can I just say. Well, yeah, Ben, you're absolutely right. Ben's here saying because Ben drives trucks and stuff. And he says when there's an ambulance behind, but he physically can't move anywhere in those lanes. There's nowhere for people to go.
What? Sabotage.
Catherine, 2004 Chevy truck. Oh, nice. Let's go in short, barely 5'3". Okay, 5'2"-ish. Hate to sell or trade costly. Yeah, and that's something that I definitely do. Just settling down in front of the TV to watch Elton John at Glastonbury. I live in Glastonbury and we could hear the festival when we were late in bed late. Oh, lovely, Angela. Enjoy. That will be nice. It's funny when you're in areas like that. You find out when there's events and things, and then all of a sudden it affects you and you can't drive down this road, or you've got to have a badge to get through here and things like that. It's quite weird with big events. I bet you Glastonbury the people in Glastonbury, it'll be like Marmite. Some people will love it, some people will hate it. Still got things like a Ford F-150, which takes $150 to fill. Vans, older SUVs are what I look for. A 2002 used minivan is still going for 3,500 Canadian. That's pretty good. We quite like that. Yeah, I know here the vans, they're just so difficult to find. We've struggled to find vans at work that are at a decent price because you couldn't get them. When things stopped during the pandemic, it was so difficult to find things. They nearly took my work van to actually go and do work stuff. I mean, like proper work stuff. I was horrified. It was full of wood from a wood stove and shopping and things. I would have had to empty it. Grant Rennie, minivan equals Corsa van or Fiesta van. Grant, do not say Fiesta vans are junk. I have a Fiesta van. The only reason my Fiesta van is junk is because someone put a limiter on it. Not impressed with that at all. But it goes. So, and it's from work. They gave me it. So, we like that. £50 my tank the other day. US petrol's gone back up here. I think paid $3.29 or 39 gallon. And do like to be ice cold, because it's Florida. I can understand that, Catherine. No, Grant, I do not have a reversing beeper. I do not need a reversing beeper. No, I do not wait for the bang, Patrick. Grant, do not be agreeing with him, or there will be issues here, can I just mention? Wait for the bang. No, we don't have reversing beepers. We learn to drive. Karen, when did you first donation or help someone with less? What propelled you, if you remember? And what? Caroline saying she still can't get down King Street. No, I don't have an external sender. I might have to put things on it. Rubber chickens. I could tie rubber chickens around my bumper because Grant's asking if I had an external sounder. No, I don't. Carol, when did a first donation or help someone with less? I've been doing that for years, Carol, but basically once the channel first got monetized and I was like, I'm actually making money here. I'm getting money. And all I was doing was chatting to everybody. It just was, I was showing you what I was doing. I was, telling you how I felt about the prepping and sometimes about the headlines as well. There was a few rants and things. So, yeah, first time I got money from YouTube, I gave away, I think, over a third because by that time I'd done, we did Grant's Kitchen was the first one where Mandy and I went up. And we did Grant's Kitchen, and we also did the food bank. We put stuff in the food bank at Tesco's a lot. I don't make as much now as I did the first few months. Although I've got more subscribers, I've got less watch hours. That's because I think one of my videos was How We Used to Live, and a lot of people remembered the TV show and thought it was that. So I got a lot of false views. What can I say? Not fitted to BT vans and gas company vans sold at auction, etc. Oh, I did not know that, Grant. No, my van does not beep when I reverse. Sarah, my dad taught me all about reversing in the 80s. Oh yes, I did the reversing in the 80s. And I remember my dad literally taking me up to a car park and making me reverse into car parking spaces for like an hour. Lila, hello, nice to see you. Catherine got a sweet deal and got a gorgeous SUV Traverse 2018 for 18,000. Then was paying just over 2,500 a year for insurance. Ouch. Nice, but ouch on the insurance, Catherine. Ben, have a look at the emission-based parking charges. I saw that in the news, Ben, that depending on your emissions, your parking charges. Just ridiculous.
That was in Hammersmith for years, a couple of years at least.
What, in Hammersmith?
Hammersmith and Fulham, yeah.
Okay, Ben, Patrick says that's already been going in Hammersmith and Fulham for a while. Carol made to watch How We Used to Live in primary school. It was cool but ancient. Yeah, I did that. Annie, good evening. Nice to see you. Cindy, if we rewatch your older videos and the ads, do you? Yes, any ads that you are nice enough to sit through and watch while you're making a cup of tea or whatever, then yeah, it gets pennies. Thank you. Selling my beautiful overpriced ride gave me so much $1,000 back and paid less than $500 a year for full. Good grief. Oh yeah, so Catherine, that definitely was worth your while getting rid of that at that sort of price for the thing. Slave to No Man, have you heard anything from David? I haven't. I know that somebody had said that he was back on YouTube just under David, and I subscribed, but there's nothing come up that I've seen from him. Decluttering Queen, you always watch people's videos a few times to help them. Thank you, that's nice of you. And Decluttering Queen says, hello, Patrick. Go on.
Hello.
See, he's there. He waved, which is about as much as a chocolate fire guard when people are not seeing him.
You're the voice.
I'm the voice. Will I say hello to Maria? She listens to your videos all the time. Emma, I am absolutely happy to say hello to Maria. Maria, good evening. I hope you are well. And how nice of you to listen to my videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And it's nice to have you here. Take care. For longer ads, I go make tea or something. Yep, I do that too. When I'm watching other people's videos, Ben, I go make tea, get myself settled, and then sit down and watch them. It's like when you get the ones with the, you can skip it, which is skipping. But sometimes those skippable ads are like 15 minutes long. That's definitely a cup of tea material. You are absolutely more than welcome, Maria. I am happy to say hello to you tonight, and I'm glad you heard it. What else was I going to talk about today? I had a good plan, but it's gone completely out of my mind. What was I cross about? I was cross about something earlier today, and I can't remember what it was. Anybody got any questions? Just while I'm talking about that. I seem to have so much work to do. What are my favourite hobbies to chill out with? Reading. Jesus is king. I read a whole lot very fast. That's my complete veg shutdown hobby. The other one, I have my motorbike, which Patrick and I are intending to go out on next weekend. Now that the whole world has stopped having the flu and coughing and got our balance back. So hopefully we'll be out on the motorbike this weekend. But yeah, I will sit. I read at a huge rate of knots. If I actually shut down and I'm doing nothing, I need to have a day off. Then I will do a whole lot of. I'll hit about 3 books, normally minimum 400 pages each in a day. So yeah, that's my main hobbies. But a new mobile on Thursday, and terms and conditions said that it may be used to enforce future. What? Okay, you listen to this.
Well,
Grant bought a new mobile on Thursday, and the terms and conditions said that it may be used to enforce future lockdowns in the event of another pandemic. Can I have a non-smartphone, please? Can you find me one of them? I don't think I've still got my old Nokia.
you have to come by the drug addict, the drug dealers use them.
Patrick,
Well,
fix it.
I'm not a drug dealer.
Yes, I know, but go fix that. Thank you, Grant. I don't like that at all. Did my pain salve work for me? Catherine, do you know, I think it did, because I had a bruise on each leg, and one bruised up really, really quickly. The other one was one of those ones, you know, where you don't see it, but you know it's going to be a stormer. And I put the salve on that one, and it never actually came up to a bruise, and I didn't feel it as much as I did the first day. So yeah, as far as I know, it's working. Next, now that I'm actually sitting here rubbing my wrists because obviously arthritis. So I think I'm going to be putting that on my wrists, and we'll see if that works. If it works for the arthritis as well. Crazy Solo, what are you reading at the moment? Rubbish. Complete and utter rubbish. I have Amazon Prime, and I literally go through whatever fiction they've got, whether it be murder mystery, romance, sci-fi, stuff like that. Because of the speed that I read, if I'm actually on a shutdown and I'm reading, I will just read what's put in front of me. So yeah, there's not anything. Recommendations, definitely Ian Rankin. We like him. We like the Outlander books. We read them about 10 years before they even were in. I mean, the Outlander was not called Outlander here. We got it when it was called whatever else it was called. So yeah, we like Ian Rankin. We like the Outlander ones, Diana Gabaldon, and we like the other ones I can't even remember the name of, but I'll find them. Cindy, read that UK debt just passed their GDP. Is that being covered in the press? Yes, it is being covered in the press, and the government are all saying, oh yes, it's fine, and interest rate. Yeah. Loads of rubbish. Look after yourselves. Take care. Stock up, etc. Do not be thinking the government's coming to rescue you anytime soon. How do you find time to read, shop, work, prep, and make videos plus planning the next one? I don't. I really, really don't. Much as I can say that I'm doing well, the washing has not been done this weekend because I was on a shutdown. As I said, I was having a bad weekend. So the washing hasn't been done. It'll get thrown in tomorrow morning on my way to work. There's been no batch cooking done this weekend at all. Patrick went up and got his Chinese for dinner. Yeah. Sometimes I just have to shut down because I bounce from one to the other, to the other, to the other. And I end up not getting anything done, or I end up exhausted. So yeah, Dave, I sort of, muddle through it and do the best I can. The great thing, prepping wise, the great things, the air fryer was one of the best things I ever bought, as was the dehydrator and the slow cooker. The fact that I've got a triple slow cooker, because batch cooking with a triple slow cooker, you just get, like, if you've got stew and steak or chicken breast, you throw them in the slow cooker, you throw in your dehydrated veg, and you throw in your liquid, whether it's a sauce mix or whatever. It's one of them. That's how I can batch cook, is because I don't actually have to cook. That's why it's like when I had the shopping today, and they said I had the pancakes, and I was like, goodness sake, you could make your own pancakes. And I was like, no, because the time it would take me to make pancakes, I went into Perth, did the shopping and came back. Because by the time you've done the mixing, done all the stuff, cooked them one at a time in my small frying pan and all that, no, not worth it. Ooh, Two Moons by Jennifer Johnson. Wait. I need to write that down. Two Moons. Jennifer Johnson. Thank you for that. All book recommendations gratefully received, I have to say. Catherine, lovely. Yeah, I do too. 30 Days in Paris, Veronica Henry. Cross Stitch. That's right, Sarah. It was called Cross Stitch, and we had it when it was called Cross Stitch. And poor Patrick's daughter, she got such a laugh at me. 30 Days in Paris. Because Diana Gabaldon's most recent book came out, and I was on the shortlist for it, and the shop opened at midnight, even up in Perth, and I couldn't go. I was going to work, so I sent Patrick's daughter to go and get it, like when the shop opened, and bring it through to me. And she was absolutely, she's like, I have never seen anyone so excited about a book. I was like, oh yeah, we need to know what happens. So, and then I sat down and just went through it, as you do. Grant, thank you so much for joining us. You have a good night, mate. See you later. Keep the stock rotation for use by dates and keep the first aid kit up to date. Yeah, good point, Grant. He's just going because he's going in the bus. She seems to know everything. Of course, that's the way she always knows everything. Marissa, hello. Good to see you. Remember, eat your bananas, not just the crumb. Okay. What can I say? There's this whole thing at work about how Karen doesn't eat healthy foods. But I have to say they're now making efforts, especially when I took that chef grill through. We've had skewers, that have had peppers with the meat and everything. So we're actually making efforts, and Karen is eating more fruit and veg than she used to. So that's always good. But yeah, good point, Carol, because that's probably what they would say to me at work. Invasion by DC Alden. Invasion DC Alden. Thank you for that. Say hi, Lennon. Hello, Lennon. Good night to Grant. Jill, have you read any of the prepper books, the fantasy ones, and or the how-to books? No. Nope. Haven't had a look at that. What is my favourite topic to talk about? Don't really have a favourite topic. What I have noticed, which I was thinking about recently, is I remember years ago my friend's sister, she was doing something with the army, and they were like, talk about an egg for 3 minutes, and we were all like, oh my goodness, how can you talk about an egg for 3 minutes? I could do that standing in my head now. Because I'm older, I'm wiser, I've got much more information. I mainly have opinions about everything. What can I say? I'm female of a certain age. I have opinions about everything. Janet, thank you for that. Lisa, hello. Carol, I have to eat a banana every day, but I can dip it in chocolate spread or peanut butter. See, I just sliced mine up on toast with a lot of butter on the toast, I have to say. £3 the other day for apples. Ooh. 4x4s. Give me some books. SAS Survival. Well, yeah, you would think the SAS Survival Guide would be good. Who even knew there was one? What can I say? I have to say, when all this kicked off in Russia yesterday, we were a bit sort of like, oh, what's going on here? And I was messaging Patrick, and I was like, I need to go shopping now. How much money have I got? I need to go and buy everything. And he's like, I don't think everything's going to suddenly happen overnight, sweetie. And I was like, oh my goodness, but do you know, Europe still gets gas from Russia and Ukraine's still sending out grain to places. And my wee brain was doing the thing as the thing. What do you think about doctors taking too much blood from patients? My GP took 3 vials and lost them all and want me to give more. Have to say that would depend on what I needed the blood samples for. If I needed to find out if I was ill or had a disease or something, then I would go and give them more. I wouldn't be waiting to argue the point. I could then argue about the other 3 vials and say to them, do you know, why did you lose them, etc. But I would need to have my results. I would want my results if it was for something that was ill. If it was just for these like medicals that you have to have for work and stuff, then yeah, I'd be pretty peeved, have to say. So I do my bulk cooking on Saturday, then in freezer. Oh, see, look at that. That's good. Not that 5 about them know about it. Gardening, I'm totally yeah, I'm totally rubbish at gardening. Although my plum trees are still standing, I have to say. Not so worried about Russian, more worried about the tyrants on now. Yeah, I know, Ben, but oh, Healing Herbs is a good book. Thank you, Kate. Only to threaten, got paid and turned around. So, yeah, Catherine, I'm pretty much with you in that one. Anyone know what would be eating my squash blossoms right off the plant? Lisa, I barely managed to keep anything alive. I'm so sorry. I am no use to you on that one at all. Audiobooks. I did audiobooks. What I had was I had to get really. I actually did it when I had a job, and I used to drive for about 14 hours a day, and it was only once a week that I did it, and I had the next day off. But it was CDs, and I could go through 2 audiobooks in one journey, so that cost me a lot of money. Much better once you were able to start downloading them. So yeah, but I quite like audiobooks as well. They're really good for going to sleep too. Deer, squirrels, etc. Yep, as I say, thank you, Catherine and Smoke Show and stuff for helping there, because I have no clue what would be eating squash blossoms at all. Not a clue. A cheap net. Net's probably a good plan, because I mean, I know even with my cabbages, I've had to go and throw snails off them and slugs because they got eaten, like lots of things. Lisa, no deer here. I'm right smack in the middle of the city. Lisa, that counts for nothing. I saw foxes in Patrick's garden right in the middle of London. I saw their babies grow up and everything. I was shocked and shooketh. So more foxes in London than I have done up here in the country. It's ridiculous. Although we definitely had deer. We have deer outside the office, which is rather nice. I quite like that. Now, we are coming to the end of my live. So if anyone has any questions, anyone wants to know anything or wants to know anything next week, let me know so that I can work things out. Netting is a great help for plants. Yes, it is. Netting is a good thing. I have to say. I just need to learn how to grow things because it's not working. I'm really good at the cooking stuff and the preserving stuff. I've got that sorted. And even the shopping, because we have the reason we went to Asda's today was because I wanted to use cash rather than the card. So that had to be done. Because just every so often most of the time I'd prefer using cash to my card, I have to say, because I just don't like having a record of every single thing. Every single, Phone was off the last 2 days. But Ben, that's good. And plus, I didn't do a video last night. I was crashing and burning. But yeah, the having, that you're paying for parking everywhere. You're paying for everything. Caroline Fox was around me in Hammersmith every night. Yeah, they were so cute. I loved them. Other people, not so much. WikiHow tells you how to repair or maintain things. Yep. Don't like using my card too easy. Oh, well done, Catherine. Yep, I've done 2 loads of sprites last week, and I will start some more, not tonight. Well, I'll maybe put them in a jar tonight, and then I can pot them up tomorrow. And that'll give me a stir fry later on in the weekend this week. Because I've got so many mung beans. I cannot find my green lentils to save myself. I put them somewhere sensible. We all know what that means, don't we? Somewhere sensible is not a good thing. Because, yeah, totally agree with you, Ben. Keep cash alive. We were at Asda's. We were at a till with a person. Oh, Rainbow, hello. I'm so glad you still made it, though. We have just been talking little bits. But yeah, the keep cash alive definitely is a huge thing. Carol, I totally agree with you. That round up the price for charity. I'm sorry. How many millions are those businesses making per year in profits? And they want us on the almost breadline to be paying to charity? Why don't they take the charity out of their profits? Thank you very much, instead of asking us. Absolutely just no happening. And what was it you told me today? Teachers. Patrick found a report today. I have not looked it up. So it was, what was it, in the Sun or something you said? The Scottish Sun, right? Now, seemingly, one of the local authorities here sent an email out on Friday and sacked all the teachers.
Sent them to say that the contracts wouldn't be renewed, they would become supply teachers.
Yeah, their contracts would not be renewed, but they could become supply teachers. Highlander, hello. So, do I like Westlife? Nah, I'm a bit old for Westlife, Highlander. But they're now sacked. They're now not going to renew these contracts. So what's going to happen is all these teachers are going to be supply teachers on 0-hour contracts. And that will save the council so much money. And that will save them from so much responsibility. And how on earth are our children supposed to learn with that? I mean, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be a teacher for loving their money because there's like no discipline and I'm not good with that. But why would you be a teacher when the council can just say, I'm not renewing your contract? Really? That is not good. Just
means you don't have to pay them the 7 weeks holiday.
Means they don't have to pay them the 7 weeks holiday. See, these wee brains going worse than mine. You've been thinking about it more than I have. Yeah, just definitely not happy about that at all. So yeah, hopefully we have cheered you all up this evening with my inane wittering. So no, we don't like that at all. Nadine, have a fabulous walk. I will catch you later, hopefully. That is us just about to finish, people. I hope you all have a good weekend and that next week is fabulous. So thank you so much for coming along. I am now going to go and sit down, have a glass of water, and I will catch you later. Thank you so much.